Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever applies to you. Welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Julia. I'm a contemporary singing specialist based in Australia, and today I'm checking out some brand new Falling in Reverse. This one is titled God is a Weapon. And if you are familiar with Falling in Reverse, you would know that Ronnie's music often has a story that is being told. So I am rather keen to get on into this one. Let's get into it.
Stop from spinning round the rabbit hole. The deeper that you push, the deeper I will go. They said that God's a woman, I'll worship you the same. 'Cause all I do is think about saying your name in vain.
Definitely not where I thought we were going with this one. And I'm interested to see where the second verse goes, to see if we get a little bit more information as to which aspect of, I guess, the feminine is the weapon.
She says, sounding like a bogan.
Ronnie is so good at writing music that would just like fit perfectly into a movie. This feels grungy and dark. And I think I will wait until we're further into the song before I share my thoughts on some of the symbolism that we're getting visually, but then how that matches with things lyrically. So I'm gonna wait to share that, but vocally, I don't know which bit I want to talk about first. I mean, the layering in the beginning is kind of amazing. It's giving me this feeling of being surrounded by the voice, and yet the voice at the exact same time is not intense at all. I feel like the majority of the intensity has actually been in the music. So you have an escalation musically between the verse and the chorus, but voice-wise, we're going for something that isn't very intense. I mean, we're in first register. There are variations that are happening in the layering, the darkness to some of those vocal layers. It's super subtle because Ronnie's line is almost gentle. We're in first register for the majority of this, but we get a slightly different experience based on what tone he's wanted to approach on each layer, and then also how that's been produced.
Stop from spinning round the rabbit hole. The deeper that you push, the deeper I will go. They said that God's a woman.
Yeah, the way that they've produced this, there's this feeling of the vocals kind of like wrapping around and going everywhere. We're gonna listen to some more, but yeah, for right now, we're in a very soft setup vocally. I still think we're in first register. There's just breathiness that's coming in places. We're just not going for a vocally intense sound. He's definitely not in second register though. So let's keep going.
Stop from sinning. My halo's just a hole.
Marilyn Manson? Did I not read the title right? Is there no feature? Oh, wow. That's cool. I didn't know he was in this track. Oh, all right.
Stop from sinning. My halo's just a hole. Deeper that I get inside you, the deeper you will fall. Say that God's a weapon, well I'm a hand grenade. Try to take this ring from me, watch me detonate.
his voice always makes me think of a blade, and I don't know why. It's not like sharp and shrill, but it's like there's an edge to it. It's always made me think of that. But voice-wise, kind of following the same trajectory. We're not going for anything that is too intense, like voice production-wise. Lyrically, we're getting a little intense, hey, but we're gonna keep going.
Watch me detonate. You might as well bury me. My sinful confession. You're my obsession. If God is a woman and God is a my sinful confession.
All right, now we're kind of in the same zone as the vocal approach that I'm used to from Ronnie. I kind of like how he's using these like subtle moments to break up the musical landscape. Because so far, the music is really the only thing where we're getting adjustments to intensity. Like this use of space and then the one little like barky growl. Musically, it almost feels like a little peak behind what has been this sort of like steady, almost serene vocal delivery, and then you get like a little bit of a peek behind the curtain, so to speak, and it is a lot more intense. So even if you didn't have the visuals of this musically, there's a lot going on, which to me I think is conveying a very strong story, because we have the visuals of what seems to be extreme emotion, like really extreme emotion, at the same time as the music is escalating, but the voice is staying steady. It almost feels like a juxtaposition. I feel like this song is very much about taking advantage of what you can achieve subtly, and I want to see how it escalates, because that little peek behind the curtain, that's the first time that we've had something intense from the main vocal line, and it was just like a little moment and then it was gone. So I want to see how this escalates.
My sinful confession. You're my obsession. If God is a woman, then God is a God is
Oh my goodness, there's the intensity, these layers. Oh my god, where is he getting up to on that? E5. I kind of found it a bit beautiful, to be honest, because you have something that is super intense, like distortion-wise, because of the screaming, and then you have something that feels more intense because you have this upward movement of the harmonies as they're singing together. This all like comes back to like the musical tension stuff I was talking about earlier. Space, harmony, upward movement, those kinds of things add an additional layer, which is engaging for us as a listener. But part of the reason why that is the case is because those choices can elicit an emotional response. It can just take us to a new place. Like, feels like we're going somewhere. Anyway, in the beginning of the song, the majority of the escalations happened musically. Now the music is kind of the same as what it's been, but vocally, we are taken off. dropping straight into that scream. Like, it's pretty intense, this ending, actually. All of this feels intense with lyrics that very clearly show, like, he's talking about obsession, he's talking about being a grenade that explodes if you try to take a ring from him. It almost gives this idea of, like, if you leave me, I will detonate. Like, there's some escalating emotions that are happening there, but I feel like a very strong theme within this is the idea of being so obsessed with someone, whether, I mean, I guess they could be anyone really, and it could go either way. If anything, it's just representing a really, really extreme emotion and an extreme attachment and some volatility that accompanies having those kinds of feelings. You could approach it as looking at what an extreme dynamic like this might be like, how those emotions sort of like chill and then peak out, and then they have the potential to escalate. For sure, the idea of being so extremely attached to somebody that it makes you emotionally volatile, it makes how you react to what they do or don't do, and like all those kinds of things, how it can lead you to an extreme, whether that extreme is something that people want or don't want. I mean, that's not what is being discussed here. The idea is that this is a very present theme in these lyrics, and I think musically the storytelling is there, something that feels like dark and grungy, and there's definitely an element of it feeling volatile, like it could explode at any moment. And the idea of, like, it's just beneath the surface with the vocal delivery in the first, god, most of the song. Actually, we didn't really get that vocal example of the volatility and heightened emotions until the very, very end. We got a lot visually, but vocally, we pop on off at the end. So I think the storytelling on this has actually been really well done. It's definitely different to what I've heard from Ronnie previously. One of the reasons why I love the songs so much is because often they're, more on the dramatic side, and I vibe with that. So, I mean, a story about being obsessed with a person to, like, a lethal degree, that's not really off-brand, Music often allows us to, get in touch with certain feelings, examine them. Hell, you can live vicariously through super dramatic music. It's kind of fun sometimes. And in this instance, yeah, you could take a more direct lens, or it could just be a song that, you're getting your feels about if if there's something that you're feeling volatile over. Anyways, that is where I'm going to leave this one today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like, click the subscribe button if you would like more just like this one. And as usual, I hope you're staying safe. I hope you are staying healthy, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Well, somebody has been working out. I wonder if he was the one who was doing the layers in the big... Not sure if it's Ronnie, or maybe it's Marilyn. So it's like, in the beginning, the almost feel like I'm starting a story. In the beginning. Is this the response to the Ariana Grande song God Is a Woman? Because